Recognition was extended across the room at the Belize Image Factory as friends, family, and associates reflected on life's significant contributions of Yogi Charu, while commemorating a book launch of the Belizean author.
It becomes even more understandable, but that he was an outstanding student, for sure. For sure.
Titled A Practical Guide to Mental Hygiene, Charu, a Sanskrit name bestowed upon Charles Lewis, is the author and yogi who shares his message to obtain and maintain mental hygiene.
They have tools to use to make their mind and heart peaceful. We cannot go into the store and buy mental toothpaste, mental toothbrush, but there are techniques. So I want someone to walk away with tools. Oh, I can sit for 5, 10, 15 minutes every day and quiet my mind. Make my mind my best friend.
Charu started his personal journey at the age of 17, when he encountered 2 books, Bhagavad Gita and The Science of Self-Realization. His interest and path subsequently shifted entirely, as the once aspiring doctor wanted now a life of a yogi.
I saw this semi-unconscious frog and the heart still beating, and my mind was like, I can't do this anymore. I love animals. So I put down the tweezer, put down the scissors. I gracefully left my class and I never returned. Because I wanted to pursue this life of nonviolence, of universal love for every living being, not just humans, but animals and plants as well.
A yogi or yogini practices yoga, a holistic system originating in ancient India. Dedicated to self-realization and inner peace, they engage in physical postures, breath control, and meditation. But the ultimate goal is a harmonious union of mind, body, and spirit, seeking enlightenment and connection with the divine.
It's something we do every day to evolve in our mental space, keeping the mind peaceful, and the heart space, keeping the heart filled with love, compassion, and kindness. Then there is the meditative side of yoga, where you sit down and you try and bring the mind as peaceful as possible, quiet as possible. And it's a beautiful challenge. And I think that's what triggered me to pursue it.
In this era, yoga and meditation are highly regarded for its physical and mental benefits. But in 1993, a 17-year-old Charles Lewis would admit that it was not yet understood in Belize.
They were like, that's a little strange. It was something strange. Yeah. And I can empathize with, when we are in ignorance, I can empathize how we might judge something. Yeah. But back then I was like, I just needed to leave the country to go live in a place that facilitated what I was studying. And so we wanted to go to India, and that was what we did.
Now, decades later, Yogi Charu is sharing the findings of teachings taught to him in his first book, a guide, he calls it, to mental hygiene.
This is my first book, a practical guide to mental hygiene, because everyone does dental hygiene, body hygiene, hair hygiene, and that's important. And the yoga culture teaches that as well. They also teach mental hygiene, how to keep the mind pure. So the book, there's a lot of practices in it to understand how our mind gets mental plaque through our 5 senses.
It's divided into the 5 human senses: sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch. All the senses that Charu explains impact the health of a person's mind.
If we see something, it goes into the mind. You hear something, it goes into the mind. You taste something, it affects your mind. Yeah. So through the 5 senses, our mind gets either pure or cluttered. So the book is to help you to understand, oh, I can make my mind do my mental hygiene every day if I just sit down and do a little concentration.
Do you feel negative emotion?
I do, but whenever a negative thought enters my mind, I know how to not react to it. Oh, envy, jealousy, greed, Charu, that's not you. Let's turn them into a positive. So I'm human like everyone.
Yogi Charu believes that every person is a beautiful soul, but negative influences can lead to a polluted mind. In sharing his new book, Charu intends to make a stop at the Kobe Foundation, which manages the local prison. According to Charu, rehabilitation in the prison is a means for individuals to rediscover their true, beautiful selves.
As I have evolved, I understand that every human is a beautiful soul. By our wrong association, our mind gets polluted. So when I see the prisoners, I understand they are a beautiful soul. It's just their mind got deluded, confused by their association. But the mind is malleable. You can change the mind. And so I don't see the prisoners as prisoners. No, it's a place where rehab should be taken so that they can find their true beautiful self.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.